So as we already know, Australia has banned the import of hentai and other adult anime products from Japan. Now, while they've done this, well, it seems that France themselves have jumped on the censorship bandwagon as they have now banned the access to a popular hentai outlet, and they're stating it contains bad things. This is absolutely absurd. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, it seems that France has now gotten censor happy, as they've now gone after a popular adult anime site, and they've just banned access from it. And their reason, which is one that we've been hearing multiple times over, which is that it exploits minors. This is the reason as to why they've done this when the site doesn't do that. This article is by Bounding Into Comics. France bans access to popular hentai outlet Hentai. Claims site contains images of exploitation. This is ridiculous. As always, absolutely absurd. In the latest move by a world government against anime and manga, the French government has begun to restrict access to popular hentai outlet and hentai with a new government redirect page warning that the various doujins and image galleries hosted on the site contain images of exploitation of minors. Now, this is absolutely ridiculous, and this is the same argument that we constantly see just thrown around by companies, by different governments, and it's absolutely ridiculous that they're doing this, but this is their way to try to attack anime, and why is that? Because they can't control it. Because they can't make it be what they want it to be, so this is their way of going after it. News of this ban was first reported on November 19th, when multiple French citizens took to social media to report that their attempts to access the page were being denied, instead resulting in a forced redirect to a newly established government landing page. And then, of course, as you can see here is what was posted. And, you can see where it actually, their government just closed it off, prevented the access. One of it, if not the first, alerts to this development was surrounded by Reddit user uCodoxed. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. I probably butchered that. Who informed their fellow subscribers to the RN Hentai subreddit that Hentai is now down in France. Guess I need to buy a VPN. You know what's interesting about this entire situation? Here's the thing. They look at anime and they go, "Oh man, anime's bad, it hurts people, it's so bad, ban it!" Right? They think that they have to censor and ban anime because they think it's the worst thing in the world when it's not. But when it comes to Netflix's cuties, oh, they love it. They want to broadcast that worldwide. They're just like, "Oh yeah, show it to all audiences." Like, what? You see, they allow a disgusting trash film like Cuties to be shown everywhere, but then when it comes to anime, they're just like, "Oh, it's so offensive, it hurts people." This is absolutely absurd. And people were understandably upset that France did this. One person stating, "In hentai, which has just closed in France, I'm at the end of my life." Now, of course, it's translated, but they're upset. Another person responds, "In hentai is not available anymore in France. Mother effing hell, how am I supposed to fap?" I mean, look, people are upset over this, and there was no reason for this to be banned, but of course, France is jumping on the bandwagon of trying to go after anime, in which, like I've talked about previously, there is an agenda against anime, and you can definitely see it, and here we are again with this. Now listen to this. According to the warning, users were being redirected to this page by the Ministry of the Interior because you have attempted to connect to a site containing images of exploitation of minors, an act which was being done in order to protect the dignity of the victims of abuse seen in the images, and protect the internet users, and especially the very young who do not want to find these shocking images. Oh my freaking god, are you kidding me? This is absolutely insane. I mean, seriously, look. These are 2D drawings. 2D drawings, and yet they're just sitting over here like, "Think of the children, think of the children." This is ridiculous. Now, like I said, we've seen this before, which it's not surprising. So, of course, to see France now jump in on this as well is not a shock. And here's the thing. I'm not going to be surprised if we start to see France go harder in on this, to where they start to just completely be like, "Oh, hey, look, let's hit this anime and this anime and this anime. I mean, Australia was doing it, going after Goblin Slayer, Sword Art Online. I mean, anime that weren't even bad, okay? And yet, now we're seeing France start with this. And since we're seeing this happen with France now, I'm not going to be surprised if we see this again. Because when you look at it, like with Australia, in that instance, for example, where they try to take scenes out of context, for example, to make it look awful, right? To make anime look bad. Thing of it is that I wouldn't be surprised if we see this happen with France as well. They'll probably try to do the same thing. And, when it comes to Australia, thing is that while Australia has banned the import of hentai and other adult anime products from Japan, I've been told by a friend that apparently, as long as it's made within Australia, so if it's produced in Australia, then you can still get it, but it has to be made in Australia, otherwise you're not able to get it. But that's the loophole I've heard that the Prime Minister of Australia made from a friend of mine. So, there's that. So Australia at least has a way to get it next year, because right now it's banned, but next year through the products being made in Australia, it'll work, because the Prime Minister of Australia was able to save it. So, good on him for outsmarting the Karen and the cuck senator. So that's good. So, next year, apparently, it's going to be, from what I've been told, produced in Australia, and people will still be able to get their adult anime products. So that will be a good thing. So we'll see how that turns out. So that'll be good. Now, when it comes to Patreon, for example, because we've been seeing like PayPal, Patreon, banning anime art, for example. Like I said, what's going to happen is it's going to get to a point where you're going to start seeing where they're going to keep cracking down worse on anime. They're going to continue to try to ban or censor whatever they can, because they can't make Japan bend the knee. So because of that, well, they're going to keep going at it. And, Patreon had a really stupid policy that we already know about. And they tried to state that it was because of the way the characters looked. They looked too young despite their actual age. It was really dumb. They were coming up with whatever excuses they could make. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Though there have been sporadic reports of some French users still being able to access the site, they are few and far between, being overwhelmingly drowned out by those finding their own efforts to be unsuccessful. So some people have gotten past it, but it's not very many. This ban was ostensibly done under the powers provided by Decret in Degree 2015-125. I probably said that wrong, so if I did, I apologize. A decree whose passage granted French authorities the ability to block any site at any time if it is suspected of being used to facilitate terrorist activity or distribute bad things. It should be none of the galleries hosted on hentai contain any images of real-world individuals, adult or otherwise, as the site exclusively deals in illustrated content primarily Japanese in origin. So like I said, they're just going after 2D drawings, basically. And, that's the thing. It's ridiculous. I mean, this is just dumb. I don't think that there's any reason for them to be doing this. Because, I mean, look, I can understand that they would try to make sure that they wouldn't allow terrorist activity or, very bad things to be distributed. I get that. But this is not that. I mean, yeah, but apparently France has to get out that censor bar. They got to ban everything. They got to make sure that people can't see it because it's going to hurt the children. It's going to hurt them. Seriously, we're talking about fictional characters here. Fictional characters. Nobody's being hurt by this. It's so stupid. Notably, this is not the first time the French government has taken censorious action against an hentai, as the hentai mainstay was blocked in the country for a short time in 2017, with the official Twitter account first discovering in March that the site was now blocked in France and has been removed from German Google search results, and later reporting in September that the site had been unblocked. So this has happened once before. But it's kind of strange that they unbanned it and then they're banning it again. It seems like they're just following suit with Australia. That's what it sounds like to me. This marks the second major Western government action against Japanese adult media, as France appears to be slowly following in the footsteps of Australia, who outright banned the import of hentai and other adult anime products into the country earlier this year. See, and like I said, what I think is going to happen is that it's going to get worse, because they're going to continue to try to crack down on it. They can't get Japan to bend the knee, so what's the next option? Ban it. Just censor it or ban it. Get rid of it. And it's terrible to see that this is what they're going to, trying to take things out of context, trying to say that it hurts things. Like I said, fictional characters, people. We're talking fictional characters. Nobody's being hurt, but they can't seem to separate fiction from reality. They seem to think that it's the same thing, apparently, that, when fictional characters are depicted in certain ways that it's actually affecting real people. Like, this is stupid. This is absolutely dumb. I'm not going to be surprised to see more of this, and, this doesn't need to be happening. This should not be happening at all. The censorship is ridiculous. France is just going to get worse about it, I bet, going forward. Not only that, but it continues to show the whole agenda against anime. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.